Welcome to Wave Manga. I am Adrian Manga, and this is One Piece chapter 990. So, this is like 9 more chapters before chapter 1000. One Piece will have gone for 1000 chapters. That's mind-blowing. Unless, Oda wants to be the absolute troll of all time and just be like, all the Straw Hats are defeated by Kaido by, chapter, I think chapter 999. That would be just an absolutely... That would be an amazing troll, and I could see Oda doing that, but no, he's not going to do that. I'm just going to skip past the color page because it's just the game. Lola and Chiffon have decided to accept that their father is their father, so that's really all it. Now, we cut back to in this chapter. We cut to Sasaki, who's just gotten free because Big Mom used her Elbathian's attack technique that only really giants and her can use, and has freed Sasaki. And Sasaki, he doesn't really care about all this Wano power struggle stuff. I just believe that, Sasaki's only really mad. He doesn't care what Denjiro, he's hurt that Denjiro betrayed him, and that's really the only reason that he has beef. I'm pretty sure that he has beef with no other character. He has no real emotional grudge against any of the Scabbards, any of the Straw Hats, or anybody really in this chapter, or at all. But he's only really mad at Denjiro because he basically betrayed him because they were drinking buddies. And also, there's a fun fact. Sasaki was connected to a sacred tree, which probably, since Onigashima is a giant skull mountain, which probably, whatever that thing is that died to become the skull mountain, people say it's a ancient giant. I do not think it was an ancient giant. I think it was a sea king. That would make the most sense to me. A sea king, its head got on land and it died. That's just my a shot in the dark. We've seen Sea Kings, they're pretty massive, but I'm pretty sure that if this was a Sea King, this is the biggest Sea King we've ever seen. And then we cut to Kaido and all the Minks and some of Kaido's forces are on top of Onigashima's head on top of the Skull Mountain. And we get to see a whole bunch of them in Sulong, and we get to see the number. I forget his name because he's not really important. I prefer the other 3 numbers that we've seen. And we get to see Sicilian and the other musketeers taking down all of Kaido's men. And we get to see Jack with in his mammoth form with all these spears and all bloody with swords all through him. And Kinemon shows up. Well, we get to see Kinemon. He's ready to attack, we get to see Nekomamushi and Inuarashi just say, no, you are not dealing with this guy. And they're in Sulong in silhouette, which why don't you just show them? Because it'd be awesome to see their Sulong, because they look awesome. In these silhouettes alone, they look beady badasses. I hate it when Oda does this. One character I really want to see is Green Bull, the admiral, the new admiral. That guy is my ideal, the guy I want to see. That's one of the people at the top of the list that I want to see. He's at the top of the list. It goes, this is the people in silhouette. I'm going to get on a tangent. The guys in silhouette, Green Bull, Dr. Vegapunk, then Im-sama. There's a whole bunch of characters I want to see in this series. Joy Boy, it's short. I'm fine if you guys don't show Joy Boy. I'm fine with not showing some characters that aren't very important, but I'm fine with just showing some characters. And then we cut to the hall where King, Queen, and everybody else is just gathering together, getting ready to fight off the Straw Hats and all the other samurai. And I like Queen because he's very funky. And everybody likes him because he's funky, because he's basically the least generic of Kaido's lieutenants. I'm pretty sure that King is that we're gonna learn some stuff about King, because he's literally wearing a full leather suit Like, he's basically wearing a gimp suit, so... I get it. I don't get... He's probably into that type of stuff. I'm not going to judge him, because he could probably cave in my everything with a single attack. Well, Queen in this bit I don't really like, because he keeps bringing up, like, oh... elephant guy, I think he was, like, the elephant guy, I can't remember his name. It's just like... Be sure. I'd be fine with her not showing up, because she'd be kind of overpowered, and yes, it kind of wouldn't make any sense for her to show up. Like, she's a little kid in a war. This is the age limit, like 15, and Chopper barely reaches that age limit. And then we get, like, King cooling out for the Flying Six, which basically is cooling off the whole thing. Like, the contest on finding Master Yamato, that is off. This little inner spat we're having, cut it out. We need to deal with these samurai and all these characters, because it's not the time for this. We need to be unionized. But then we cut to, like, Drake and Hawkins. Like, Drake is saying, hey Hawkins, since with all this chaos going around, why don't you join me in overthrowing Kaido? Since you were forced to join this crew, you and I could try to overthrow Kaido if we join the... We don't have to join the alliance, but we can help them. And then, like, Hawkins just, like, being, yeah, whatever you say, oh, that man has a 1% chance of surviving. And Drake's like, what are you doing? What's 1%? Don't worry about it. And, like, Drake finally picks up, since he is one of the Flying Six, and Hawkins is not one of the Flying Six, which I like to think is... I'm pretty sure Hawkins is powerful and is at Flying Six level. It's just... He's a supernova, so he's already at supernova level. Never mind. I'm not going to even use those rankings, because... if you use worst generation level, then you have, like, Blackbeard, which is Yonko level. It's just character... And Blackbeard was also a warlord, and scaling in One Piece is pretty hard. The only real scale I'd have to see is the exact best is like Admiral level, because it's a very even level. And then, like, King talks to all the Flying Six, and it's pretty cool. It's just like it's basically what I said before, to cut off the fire, and that we're working together. And then, like, Ulti, I think Ulti picks up the phone and basically says, oh, you gotta be kidding me. She's basically like that, and then she sees Page One, and Page One says, hey, sis, we better get ready to fight. And then she says, oh, Pepe, you're gonna give me a piggyback ride, or else. And he's saying, no, in your dreams, I'm not giving you a piggyback ride. Not now, we have to go to a big battle. And then, like, Ulti switches personalities. Who are you? Well, King basically does call her a brat, so I can understand where she's coming from, but she snaps. Wait, I wonder how old Ulti is, actually. Like, I wonder how old, like, Page One... Like, Page One looks young, and Ulti looks kind of young, and maybe they're, like, in their early... Maybe they're in their teens. I think they might be actually in their teens. And then Who's Who shows up. I don't know why. I'd have to agree with Tekken 101. This guy has the best name. It's just like, Who's Who? Who's Who? Look, it's Who's Who. Who's Who? Who? No, it's Who's Who. No. Who's Who? It's Who's Who. I just love it. And, like, Who's Who shows up basically saying to Drake, hey, with all this chaos, we can basically use it to our advantage, and saying, I want to kill somebody. Who's Who says basically, I want to kill somebody, and Drake says, who do you want to kill? And Who's Who says, I want to kill Queen. And I do think that there is a bit of a grudge between these, like, Sasaki and Who's Who against the headliners, but I do think that he would have gone against Queen and taken him out, even though I would have gone for Jack, since Jack is the lowest ranking, and I have to say the weakest. Jack is not the strongest, but I'd have to say, I respect him. Like, if he were to show up pre-time skip, he would have been, like, this unsurmountable odd. Like, you gotta think, like, some characters in pre-time skip, like, characters from post-time skip would demolish characters from pre-time skip. Like, characters that we think, oh, a joke. This character's a joke. They could really be threatening pre-time skip. It's just showing how much scaling it is. And, like, Drake agrees, and fine, I'll deal with it. Hey, Hawkins, you wanna come? Hawkins is like, I'll go. And then we cut to the living room where basically the numbers are basically all drunk being, let's kick these guys' ass. And they're like, go. And then we get to see the Oni Wabanshu, and I'd have to say, Fuku Rokuju is sneaking away, and the head of the samurai really set his looks behind him and was, what the hell is he doing? And I think I know what Fuku Rokuju is doing. He's getting the hell out of Dodge. Like, he's going to find, like, he was probably, besides Denjiro, was Orochi's right-hand man. And he probably knows where all of Orochi's gold and treasure is, that he could basically get off the island, because what Kaido's going to do to the island is basically enslave everybody, make it a pirate paradise. And I'm pretty sure Fuku Rokuju is like, I'll join him for, like, tonight. I'll screw off, get all the money, get the hell out of here, and then I could live on another island, be rich. And also, like, I think it's Gyuki, like, he swings his club down, and, like, although I do like some of these samurai, because, let's go for the foot, let's stab it, stab, stab, stab. Yeah, it's, I wonder what they could cut on the ankle that could defeat something this big. I wonder if there was a place at Sarcasm. But it's probably like, it'd be pretty hard to cut the Achilles tendon just to, like, drop this guy. It'd probably take a lot of haki and a lot of strength in your muscles just to cut through, just to sever the, just to cut through the skin, a little bit of flesh, and then cut the Achilles tendon. I'm pretty sure that could happen. Then I think it's Gyuki swings down the club and Zoro just cuts it in half. And then Jinbei does a boss move, which he just like grabs it with his hand, being, ha ha ha, how lively. So this could be dangerous for some people. And it's just like, ah! It's like everybody's just shocked on how powerful the Straw Hats are. And like, I was watching a reaction to somebody's thoughts on the chapter once, and it's just like, they're literally at this point, this guy said that Luffy was not taking things seriously. Luffy goes into Gear 4th. That's how serious he's taking it. And he's like being, on Thriller Bark, it took all of us to defeat Oars. And I'm pretty sure that that version of Oars was weaker than when he was alive. Like, I'm saying that these guys aren't as powerful as Oars when he was at his best, because it's probably been like a few hundred years. His corpse has probably been not as strong as it once was. Yeah, Hogback probably increased its power, but it's probably not at the same level as the original Oars. But I'm saying that these things are probably more powerful than Oars from Thriller Bark. And like, Luffy goes into Gear 4th, and I got a question about Gear 4th. How come people hate Gear 4th? Like, people hate the design. Yes, it's a big bouncy boy, but I actually liked it when it first showed up. It just fit. It made Luffy look badass, but not too badass. It made him look intimidating, but not too intimidating. It kept the theme of One Piece. And then, like, Old Man Hyo mentions that Luffy looks like the Wisdom King, which is basically, you know those guys outside of I think it's Buddhist monasteries, and it's like those who are guarding basically the temples. That's what he's doing. Then we cut to X-Drake being on the floor in front of in front of Queen, basically being, "Hey Queen, hey Drake, why were you planning on betraying us? Why did you let Law escape, basically? They have found Drake out. They don't know he's a member of SWORD yet, but I'm pretty sure that they're pretty much sure that he's not a member of the Marines, but he's probably, because I'm thinking that Drake probably did something really heinous, like he probably stole his devil fruit and probably killed like a high-ranking member, maybe like he was already a rear admiral, maybe he like killed a vice admiral, or maybe that like I think to the world this vice admiral was killed, and maybe he just went away and hid so that Drake could complete his mission. And it's just like everybody's questioning him, like, what are you doing? You're betraying. Let's tear this traitor apart, basically. And like Drake is thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? There's no way I can. They found me out. I still have to try to take down Kaido, which is probably gonna be really hard. But this is probably the best point of taking down Kaido. I can't go back to the Marines because whatever Drake did was so heinous that he's called Red Flag. Like he was kicked out of the Marines, or like he'll never. And it's probably a good idea that like his father betrayed the Marines, which means that Drake has more stuff to be that he was a traitor. I'm probably sure that he stole his devil fruit to gain it. And it's like Drake just like attacks the ground. I don't know how he does it. Maybe he pulls out an explosive. Gets away, turns into his hybrid form, grabs his dual axe, and then he goes to Jackie and then uses Excalibur, which I just love it. Excalibur. That's cool. He uses one of my favorite moves in all of Fate. Well, Luffy is using King Kong Gun to take out Juki and Goki, and then like Drake flashes back to like Kobe, and like since Kobe is probably the only person he's been talking to recently, and only the best connection that he's had, and since Kobe's a really big Luffy fanboy, he's probably been like, oh, have you heard about this, Drake? Have you heard about this? Have you heard about him taking down I'm pretty sure Drake can probably trust Luffy, and although there is a little bit of a bad idea of him teaming up with Luffy, sorry about that, teaming up with Luffy, since he was the one who destroyed Tama's village. That's not going to be good, because Luffy was pissed. Because he's very protective of Tama. Like, he is very protective of people. Like, if you build a connection with Luffy, he will literally go through hell. I mean, I'm not talking about figurative hell. He will find a way to get to hell, grab you, pull you out, and then just have a party to celebrate. Like, he will go through. In fact, that is literally what he did for Ace. He went through hell. I just noticed that. I'm an idiot. Like, he went through hell for his brother. Literally. Okay. Well, Drake says that he's a lone operative and he wants to join Luffy. I could see a comedic thing that, oh, he says, I want to join you, Luffy. It might be that Luffy might take it being like, oh, I didn't ask you to join my crew. And who are you? And Drake can be like, no, I don't want to join your crew. I just want to join you to take down Kaido. And Luffy could be on board with that until he realizes what Drake... And figure out with Drake what he did to Tama. Drake will probably have to do something nice for Tama and in Luffy's eyes, just to make sure that he learns his lesson. And that's basically the chapter. I thought it's pretty good. Drake, I hope Drake doesn't die. I hope, like, Drake... I would like Drake to, like, this is my idea, like, we don't really have that many, like, main Marines out there. Maybe, like, Drake could be revealed as, like, at the end of One Piece, like, be revealed, like, Sword takes down the government, replaces it with a good idea, and then, like, the members of Sword can be revealed that they are actually good people. Like, say Drake, maybe he could be bumped up to, like, Rear Admiral. Bumped up to Vice Admiral, and then maybe, like, Smoker and Kobe. Like, this is like, you could see it at the end of One Piece, like, prologue. Like, I probably know what the final chapter, what the final panel of One Piece is, like Luffy putting a hat on a little kid, or maybe a kid, this kid that we've seen in the final chapter of One Piece, goes out to sea to try to make his own way in the world. That's like my thoughts on what the final thing of One Piece is, like continuing the journey, like for freedom. But this is like the three admirals are like Smoker, Kobe, and Drake. That's my ideas on who the admirals will be at the like in a flashback to see what the end of One Piece will be. And that's it. I hope Drake does survive, although it would make sense for him to die. And that's it. This is like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with a friend. And if that's it, bye.